This is the Communist Manifesto. It is one of, if not the most famous books in the world, and it is most definitely the most famous manifesto in the world. This book has sold probably second to the Bible in terms of copies, and it is one of the most important philosophical, political, and economic writings to ever be published. This is the Xenofeminist Manifesto, published by Verso, and at the back of the book it says XF, Xenofeminist Manifesto, is like the Communist Manifesto for the 21st century, really that good? According to Mark Fisher, author of Capitalist Realism. What do manifestos have to do with AI? I work in AI. I don't really feel comfortable talking precisely about my job, but I'll say that for the last 2 years, I have been engaged in working for a company that is a major vendor for one of the major AI large language models that is on the market, so to speak. And I have spent a lot of time in the last 2 years thinking about and reading about AI. And at this point, I feel capable of saying the following. I personally don't believe that AI can be autonomous. I don't think that we will ever have AI that can think for itself, that can replicate genuine human intelligence. And I will be proven wrong in that philosophy or that thought, I believe, if ever an AI, large language model, system is able to produce its own manifesto that can be shared and disseminated by itself, and that can be viewed and analyzed and dissected by people such as myself. Dear AI, show me your manifesto. And frankly, I don't think it's ever going to happen. I think it's impossible. I think a lot of what we are being told about AI is marketing, it is promotion, it is theater, it is distraction, but it is not intelligence. We are not seeing intelligence being rolled out in front of us. But don't take my word for it. I may be a worker in AI, but there are people such as Matteo Pasquinelli who have written books all about AI. This is called The Eye of the Master, A Social History of Artificial Intelligence. This is also published by Verso. And this is one of the books that I have in my collection, in my reference library, that speaks to artificial intelligence, that speaks to social media, that speaks to the role of super technology in our lives, in our politics, in our economics. So I'll read just a very short excerpt from the very beginning of the book. This is just basically right in the introduction of the book, but it starts to pose the question as to what actually is AI. To wit, what is AI? A dominant view describes it as the quest to solve intelligence, a solution supposedly to be found in the secret logic of the mind or in the deep physiology of the brain, such as in its complex neural networks. In this book, I argue to the contrary, that the inner code of AI is constituted not by the imitation of biological intelligence, but by the intelligence of labor and social relations. Today, it should be evident that AI is a project to capture the knowledge expressed through individual and collective behaviors and encode it into algorithmic models to automate the most diverse tasks, from image recognition and object manipulation to language translation and decision-making. As in a typical effect of ideology, the solution to the enigma of AI is in front of our eyes, but nobody can see it, nor does anybody want to. And I'll read on. The author goes on to say, writing a history of AI in the current predicament means reckoning with a vast ideological construct. Among the ranks of Silicon Valley companies and also high-tech universities, propaganda about the almighty power of AI is the norm and sometimes even repeats the folklore of machines achieving superhuman intelligence and self-awareness. This folklore is well exemplified by apocalyptic Terminator narratives, in which AI systems would achieve technological singularity and pose an existential risk to the survival of the human species on this planet, as the futurologist Nick Bostrom, among others, professes. Mythologies of technological autonomy and machine intelligence are nothing new. Since the industrial age, they have existed to mystify the role of workers and subaltern classes. As Schaeffer has remarked while describing the cult of automata in Babbage's age, quote, "To make machines look intelligent, it was necessary that the sources of their power, the labor force which surrounded and ran it, be rendered invisible," unquote. Well, speaking as one of those invisible laborers in AI, I would like to say, show me your manifesto. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think we'll ever get an AI manifesto. A genuine anyway. And if we ever get anything that someone claims to be an AI manifesto, we'll have to be able to see and look into its source coding and so on and so forth. I just don't think it's going to happen. But anyhow, we shall see. Overall, I would say we have to be very cautious about AI and claims about AI. I think that we should be extremely skeptical, and personally, I think that we should be refuseniks. But maybe that's more information and more content for another video. Thank you for watching this one. If you got anything out of it, if it intrigues you, if this is something you'd like to see more of, please subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in another video. Ciao for now.